In this video, we're going to be talking about why you are weak-minded, why the society around us has built us up to be weak-minded individuals, and how this is actually blocking your success. And how I want you to know, anytime that you feel weak mentally, physically, emotionally, that you have the power to take that back. And I'm going to give you one of my amazing little words to help you with this. So, weak. What does it stand for? So many people are like, oh, you're weak if you cry, you're weak if you don't cry. That doesn't matter. That's just opinions of other people. But what weak actually is, and my representation of the word itself is, W is for working, right? E is for energetically. A is for against. And K is for your knowing. So, I don't know why I have to color these in. Weak, working energetically against your knowing. Working is what? Effort. Yeah, that's where we put in our sweat. We're working either our mind, we're working our energy physically, whatever it is. We're working means putting in effort. Energetically is what? Your vibration. Because everything in this universe is energy. We're all made of atoms, molecules, particles vibrating at a particular frequency, which literally creates matter. We all energy beings, right? So energy is literally our vibration, our source. It's also our food, right? So everything that we are putting into ourselves, our food, energy is calories, like all of the stuff, everything, food, consuming. Now this can be mind, the media, everything, right? So working and using our energy against. So what is against? Opposition. Force, right? Because when you're against something, there is a force there, right? So this is willpower. And what's your knowing? When we say all-knowing or your inner knowing, this is your intuition, which is just another name for your soul's way of communicating to you. It's your soul's sense. It's your self-trust, because your self-trust comes from connecting to your soul's true voice. So it's your true self, or people will say higher self. And I'm claircognizant, which is all-knowing, right? You just know something, you don't know how you know it, it just lands. It's one of the clairs, like one of the psychic senses. So mine is all-knowing, which is my soul's voice of communicating to me. So when you are being weak in any way capacity, right, if you feel weak emotionally, and this is coming from my past experiences, guys, I have felt like the weakest person. Till this day, I don't class myself as strong. It's other people around me who go, oh my God, Jenny, you're so strong. I don't know how you do blah, blah, blah. And it's because of this. It's because I work energetically in alignment with my knowing. Okay, so you can swap this, right? This is the swap we want to make. This is the transformation. You're going to turn your weakness into strength by working energetically, not against your knowing, but in alignment. Okay, so when you're putting effort into this energy of yours, right? Your food, you're putting energy into consuming stuff on the media, you're putting effort into all of the energy that is working against your soul's voice. Pay attention. This is so important. If you get this, I promise, this is the stuff that got me unstuck from society's chains, from conditioning. This will free you in the mind, in the soul, in the spirit, in the body, in the heart, everywhere, right? This is how I manifest my soulmate, how I manifest my current home, how I manifest money, how I manifest scholarships, how I manifest things in my business, how I manifest in my business itself, like everything. Okay? Because I work energetically in alignment with my knowing. Now outside, this still comes under the weak, because people might see me as weak because they're like, oh, she's not doing the norm. And so they might label me as, oh, Janie's weak, but I'm not weak because I'm in alignment with my knowing. And so my results speak from themselves, right? We shouldn't care about what other people are perceiving to be as weak. That's just a label. That's just somebody else's mind forming an opinion. Everybody's allowed to form their opinions. But what we shouldn't be doing is getting so triggered by other people's opinions and being like, oh, so fixated on, this is my belief system. This is my ideology. It's just an idea. Ideology, right? And all opinions are simply ideas. They're not true or false, but we just choose to believe them because that's how we function in the world and in society. So if you're working energetically against your knowing, now, most people are not a disconnect from their soul, right? So the reason why you're working against is because you are feeding energetically the wrong foods. You're consuming the wrong types of media, news, fear-based entertainment. That's not really working with your higher self, because what is your higher self? You have to first understand who is your higher self. If you don't understand who your higher self is, you're constantly going to be working in opposition, which means you're constantly going to be a weak mind or living a weak reality. So be honest with yourself. If you're not happy with your current reality, or you feel like your reality is quite weak in the sense that you're not fully able to express yourself, you're not fully able to live the way you want to live, you're not fully able to provide for yourself in the way in which you want to. All of these are deep desires that might be there in your heart, but if you're not truly living in alignment with it, you'll feel weak. And it's because you are working energetically against your knowing. Your inner knowing is your soul, your intuition. Most people ignore this, and this is why they work against it. And they consume and they live in this cycle of here and here, right? They're constantly consuming stuff that is working against their soul. They're constantly eating all the stuff. And when I say eating, I don't just mean physically for our bodies. I mean, for our mind, what we are consuming in here is the most important thing. Why? Because the mind is the gateway to our soul. Our intuition channels through our mind. We have to look after our minds, and we're not. We're giving our minds away to social media, to programs on Netflix. We're giving it away to society, cultural conditions, belief systems of Trump and politics and all these people who don't matter. And it's like, why are you not focusing that energy into yourself instead of outside of yourself? This is so important as well, right? I want you to focus. When you're working energetically against, you're always focused. Your focus is on the outside of you, the external reality. When you switch this and you move to focusing inside of you, the internal, this is where your intuition comes in. It kicks in. Your inner wisdom will start to flow. This is how you slowly start to move across and start working in alignment with your knowing. But if you constantly feed your mind everything outside of yourself, you will be staying energetically in opposition to your knowing. You will stay weak-minded. That's why we see so many weak people in the world. We see weak minds all around us because that's the way the system has provided us with the education system, the government system. Like everything has been built to keep our minds weak. And the only way that we can make this switch is by constantly focusing on inside of ourselves instead of outside of ourselves. If somebody's, I don't know, calling you names or whatever, can you focus on them and get your anger up? Or can you switch that around and focus inward and go, nah, I'm peaceful. It doesn't matter what they're saying. It's just words. Empty words don't bother me. That's our choice, right? We all have that choice every single day. But most of us are choosing to focus on the external. They said this, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's got me upset. It's like, well, just go within yourself and change that story. That's how simple this can be. We don't want to be building a weaker mind that's been given to us. It's our responsibility to go in and change that mind and transmute it and transform it into a strong mind so that we can be stronger people and build a stronger community and a stronger planet. Going into my humanity roots now with my Aquarius moon sign, and I love Age of Aquarius and all of this stuff, but seriously, get your mind in order by working energetically in alignment with your inner knowing. Start building this connection with your soul, and you do that by focusing less on the outside of you, what's happening, celebrity, drama, gossip, news, all of that stuff is outside of you. Inside of you, what is inside of you? Silence, stillness, stories, memories, beliefs, identity, everything that is inside of you. Start analyzing it, start reflecting. What are these beliefs? Who do they come from? Are they mine? Are they somebody else's? Do I want to keep this? Is it helping me? Is it serving me? These are the questions you want to be diving into to really start knowing your higher self. This is where your intuition will slowly start to guide you, but you have to get out the way. You get out the way by consuming the right stuff, ignoring the wrong stuff, and not forcing, but flowing, okay? This has to, when you work in alignment, you're on the same side as your soul, which means you are flowing, not forcing, and you're trusting in something bigger than yourself rather than using your own willpower. Don't get me wrong, when we're building businesses and things like that, we have to use willpower at some point, but it's in alignment and on the same page as our higher self, which means our intuition will guide us there. We don't have to use any type of force whatsoever. That is the true essence of alignment. That's how literally I create. I don't come on here unless I receive an intuitive download of what I'm supposed to be teaching and sharing. Like this video, subscribe if you have already, and I'll catch you in the next video, you guys.